Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here with another Pokemon Sword and Shield moveset video guide on how to use Eternatus, or is it Eternatus? I think it's Eternatus. I would say Eternatus. Now guys, if you missed any of my previous ones, there is a playlist down below. Feel free to check it out. And I'm not joined alone today. I have my buddy, Mr. Jamvad. Say hi, buddy.
What's up, everybody?
And Mr. Jamvad is a fantastic competitive battler. He does mainly OU on his channel, but you'll also see a nice little sprinkle of Ubers every Sunday called Uber Sunday. And he recently had his channel hacked, his main channel. So he made a new channel, and you guys have been ridiculous with the support. Like, he's already has 8,000 subs in 3 weeks, almost to like the, he's like halfway to the 17,000 that he was before his channel got taken down. So if you do enjoy competitive content, which I'm sure you do, and you want to learn and get better, go ahead and check out Jamvad's channel. His link will be down below. But Jam, why don't you explain about this Poison Dragon a little bit and the first set we have here, and then I'll go after.
Sure thing. So, Eternatus, a very interesting addition to this generation, design-wise and just typing. I don't think they've ever done anything quite like this. Just as far as how fast it is,
yeah,
and actually how bulky and strong it is. No attack. Usually legendaries are pretty mixed in their offensive stats, but they went full on into this thing's everything else but its attack. Incredibly HP stat, which makes a huge difference. Very solid neutral defenses, and it is insanely fast. Like, it is just insanely fast. And the biggest thing for this set in particular is its speed and its high special attack, and it gets a lot of coverage moves. So in Ubers, there are not too many things that can comfortably switch into Dynamax Cannon. It's Dragon Stab. The only two types that exist that resist are Steel and Fairy. Very immune of course. But because of Eternatus' poison typing, fairies don't feel very comfortable coming in. And the only fairy type you really see in Uber is Showdown, which is already hit by the flamethrower, and Clefable. I may be forgetting something else. Sometimes Hatterene, but that's about it. All of which fear the potential poison stab. So in this case, this one runs flamethrower and Dynamax Cannon. Because of its incredibly high special attack. You get the 2k on pretty much everything except Clef. Like, Clef is the only thing you might want to have a little sludge wave for, and Hatterene. But for the most part, this will cover anything. And if this thing subs up, it's almost guaranteed to get a kill, unless you have one of the fairy types I mentioned before, or let's say a Tyranitar, which is a commonly used mine to help check the set.
Yeah, and I actually really like it as well because it has pressure, and if you guys didn't know, pressure, any basically moves that actually go at the opponent, whether it be attacking moves or moves that actually, like go to the other side, like Stealth Rock, for instance, they get pressure stalled. So you can substitute and recover. Substitute also allows you to avoid Ditto, Imposter Ditto coming in and copying you and Dynamax Cannoning. And the big thing about Dynamax Cannon as well is that Dynamax is still allowed in the Ubers tier, and Dynamax Cannon does double the damage if your opponent Dynamaxes, so it becomes even stronger. So it's actually sometimes worse to Dynamax in front of Eternatus, mainly because as well it's so fast, as Jamvad mentioned. So chances are it's going to be faster than whatever Dynamax is in front of it. A slash can potentially be agility over substitute. Now this does leave you weaker to Pokemon like Ditto when they come in after, but it does allow you to potentially sweep, being faster than some of the checks to Eternatus, like Excadrill and Sand. You're faster than that. You're faster than Zacian as well. And but again, also being faster than setup Gyarados and whatnot. Speaking of setup Gyarados, it's actually a pretty good teammate for Eternatus, as it's able to come in on the ground type attacks that Eternatus is very weak to. But being a poison dragon, I think it's so cool, right? Being immune to toxic, right? We've only seen this in Dragalge, before, but being immune to Toxic is amazing, especially because Toxapex doesn't break your sub with Scald. You can just sub behind it and pressure stall it a bit from there. But it's a fantastic Pokemon and a fantastic wall breaker. The second set we're actually covering is very similar to the first set, but this set runs Sludge Wave. As Jem mentioned, there are some fairy types that can take the hits, Hatterene as well as Clefable, so Sludge Wave allows you to deal with that. And because you are no longer protected, Habanberry is actually an option over Life Orb. We have both of them here slashed on the set, but Habanberry is an option, and the main reason to have Habanberry is you snipe Ditto, right? You attack in front of you, you kill something, Ditto comes in and tries to Dynamax Cannon you back. You eat the hit because of your Habanberry, and you knock out Ditto with your own Dynamax Cannon. And a Ditto gone is such a freed up Ubers game, I would say, right? Because you're free to set up Gyarados, you're free to use your Excadrill without fearing their Ditto coming in and copying you and Earthquaking you back. Zacian can go for Swords Dance without fearing Ditto coming in. So it's a nice little tech that Eternatus can run. But of course, Life Orb is still an option, allowing you to deal with Corviknight, Ferrothorn, Aegislash, not making them threats to you whatsoever. But yeah, like I said, in terms of teammates, I think Hippowdon is a great teammate, being able to take hits from Excadrill coming out, I think, and also phasing and getting up rocks. I think Gyarados is a great teammate too, being able to come in on Excadrill as well and setting up in front of it, especially with the heavy-duty boots, not really fearing rocks from there. Jem, do you want to cover the next set a little bit?
I'm actually not super familiar with this one. I have faced it before. But I had a Tyranitar with Snarl.
Yeah, so it wasn't able to do anything.
Yeah, so it never really posed a threat. I know it can be lethal, primarily because once it starts Cosmic Powering, what makes this Pokemon so dangerous amongst all the other things is incredible HP stat, and it is insanely fast. So after one Cosmic Power, it's almost, I don't think anything in the game can one-shot this thing.
Yeah.
And pressure is such a nasty move. Pressure can have whole counters after a Cosmic Powers up. Lose 1v1 to me is always turn 1v1. Lose 1v1. Just by it's just sitting there. And then when you throw in Toxic, unless you're a Clefable again or a Hatterene, yeah. You're likely going to die to this after one Cosmic Power. Very few things can beat this. And because of that reason, we've seen a lot of, like countermeasures to that in the case of
like
Gothitelle. T-Tars, Goths, T-Tars, Goths, Goth can trick and, obviously shut that down. T-Tar with Snarl or Roar. So just, different countermeasures. I haven't used it myself.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is obviously Cosmic Power. Flamethrower needs to be a staple. Otherwise, what's the point of not being able to be beat by Excadrill or Zacian, but then you can't damage them back? So Flamethrower is there as well as also, doing damage to Corviknight as well as Ferrothorn. But typically you'll see Toxic, Dynamax Cannon, or Sludge Bomb. I don't personally like Dynamax Cannon because I think it opens up the opportunity for Ditto to crit you. And knock you out, so having that set there. But Sludge Bomb is also an option over Toxic, a more offensive option, and also being able to status as well. But the big thing, like Jam said, once this thing starts setting up, it's very, very hard to get rid of. In fact, probably one of the better answers for it would be the Cosmic Power Nasty Plot Gothitelle, that is running around the Ubers tier that typically runs specially defensive, being able to come in, Cosmic Power up alongside it, and not really fearing any of the status because it does recover, and then it has Stab, Stored Power to go from there. But the EV spread allows to outspeed base 100s, such as Mew, and just overall maximizing your physical bulk from there, letting you better take on Pokemon like Gyarados, and even, Excadrill after a Cosmic Power. You're still faster, and you do 2-hit KO. I think Quagsire is a fantastic teammate. And, you're probably going to see me say that a lot whenever I play Ubers. But Quagsire and Charizard Ditto are great teammates. They deal with basically boosted threats that might try and overpower Eternatus. So like a Swords Dance Zacian can actually take a Flamethrower and try and Swords Dance and break through it. Quagsire doesn't care about that. And Charizard Ditto also, can revenge that and take all its boosts from there. The last set I want to talk about is a potential Toxic Spike set. With the Black Sludge and basically abusing the fact that Eternatus has very key switch-ins in the Ubers tier, I would say at the moment. The ones I've seen the most would be potentially Tyranitar, Gothitelle. So basically being a toxic spiker that can actually phase those out with moves like Dragon Tail and potentially catching something like Quagsire, I think makes this set deadly, right? It still has Flamethrower, so you can deal with your steel types, but the scenario that I was thinking of was that you get up a Toxic Spike as they go Gothitelle, they try to Cosmic Power up, you Dragon Tail them out, and you force in Quagsire. Quagsire typically runs Shed Shell in the Ubers tier as a way of dealing with Shadow Tag Gothitelle, which basically would trap Quagsire and get rid of it for Zacian. So, but in a situation where you have a Toxic Spike, one layer of Toxic Spike on Quagsire, that's the difference between Zacian to it KOing it or not. And that's really, really big because Quagsire is always forced to recover whenever it comes in on Zacian. Basically, you bring it in on a player up or Behemoth Bash, you click recover, you switch out when they bring out a threat, and you bring it back in, and it's just an attempt to not let Zacian sweep you. But having a Toxic Spike on that or a regular poison on that is ridiculous for Eternatus. Even with a Relaxed Nature, you're still outspeeding Corviknight, and a great team with this is Gothitelle. Gothitelle being able to deal with Toxapex, being basically one of the premier poison types outside of Eternatus, and also being able to deal with opposing Eternatus as well. That way your T-Spike are kind of there to stay. A lot of the Ubers games I've seen, Jim, I don't know about you, but the main form of hazard control I've either seen is default Corviknight or potentially Rapid Spin X Drill, though most of the time Drill is just attacking. Outside of that, you know, people deal with it via heavy duty boots or anything like that. I don't know if your experience has been a little bit different, but in a metagame where you know, you can get rid of those Pokemon with a partner via Gothitelle, or, you know, in Drill's case, you can either Quagsire it or Gyarados it or Hippowdon it. I feel like this can be very deadly, potentially. It has a lot of potential.
Without a doubt. In fact, I think I'll be using this set. I'm gonna be building a team around this set. I might do an entire team builder on it, but I'll definitely be putting together a team with this set. I think it's interesting because I do agree with the fact that you're not even Corviknight. I may have faced one Corviknight ever.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was a defog. So defog has a control, not the biggest priority currently. And because of that, I think hazards are underrated at the moment. And this set can pose massive issues. Massive issues. So I think you're onto something here. And I say before, because I think you came up with this just before this, right?
Yeah, I did. I literally made it right before 5 seconds before the video.
Right. Exposed. But yes.
Hey, we should build a team and use it, dude, in the video.
No, I can't build it today.
No problem. No problem.
Unless you're recording another time, but like, you know, if you're later tonight. But yeah. It definitely, I think, you know, just as a whole, the Uber tier, initially I assumed Ubers was going to be done for. Like, okay, you know, 3 Pokemon, there's no way we can have a tier. But what I've noticed is it functions like its own tier, despite the fact that it's technically every Pokemon from OU. Like, you know, as far as like what you see the most.
Yeah.
But one thing about Ubers that's existed throughout every generation is because the metagame is its own and is so different, Pokemon that cannot function in OU tend to always find some kind of role and function really well in Ubers.
Yep.
Amistar Rain used to be a thing. Shell Smash Amistar Rain.
I mean, look at Arcanine. Arcanine right now.
Arcanine.
Zacian is like one of the premier Zacian answers besides Quagsire.
Bingo. It's almost on every team. I wouldn't be surprised if Arcanine's usage was like top 10. You know, like it's that. And I'm sure there are a lot of more unique Pokemon that have yet to be used, you know, like that have potential. And it's just, I faced a defensive Center Scorch that
oh yeah, that was so crazy too. Fire types in general like are really good when, you know, when you resist both Fairy and Steel.
Right. And there's just a lot of room for creativity. So if you've not tried Ubers yet, I definitely recommend to give it a shot. It might not be your cup of tea, but don't chalk it up to being just this legendary Pokemon tier that is spammed and overpowered. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
How can I be beating people down?
I mean,
Darman,
I literally fought. Let me just give a little example. One of the scariest teams in Ubers right now has a Blossom. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. One of the scariest teams in Ubers right now is a Baton Pass team with Ninjas, Blossom, Dubwool, Zatu, Doug Trio, and whatever else the last member is that I'm forgetting at this moment in time.
This is Ndidi.
Indeedy. Like, what the hell? Why? It's all because they can all Baton Pass, by the way. That's literally it.
I faced it in my last life.
Yeah, I faced it in mine too today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and I think one of the other things that makes Uber's really unique, it's like the only Smogon meta, like official meta, that has Dynamax currently, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Monotype has Dynamax. I don't quote me on that. But obviously OU and Down does not have Dynamax. I believe Little Cup banned Dynamax like week 1 because these big Pokemon had no business exploding and killing things in one move, right? But yeah, it's a really unique metagame. And again, if you guys do if you enjoy competitive Pokemon and just that sort of thing in general, I would subscribe to Mr. Janvat's channel. His channel link is down below. You're going to like it. You know, there's a lot of great stuff over there. I do a podcast with Jam over there. It's his podcast, but I'm on the episodes.
Literally call like you're my co-host at this point.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so, and actually, just speaking on that, we're going to be covering, well, you can tell them if you want to tell them.
Actually, there are quite a few things going to be going on soon. I'm going to be doing a daily. Okay, let me hold back. I'm going to be doing a frequent.
Don't say
series.
daily. Yeah, don't say daily.
I'm going to be doing a pretty frequent podcast series where Joey and I discuss each Pokemon and their viability in the current metagame post Dynamax. Just very free form, like what we've experienced, what we're noticing, potential sets, like everything. And if you're a person who wants to just sit back and relax, join the conversation. That's what the podcast is centered around. Secondly, I'll have something going on right now in the academy, in the Discord group, known as the House Tour. And what that basically is, similar to if you're a Harry Potter fan, you're familiar with those. Harry Potter had 4 separate houses. So you take this quiz, right? You join the Discord group, you PM a House Tour director, and you ask them for the quiz. You take the quiz and you're placed in a house based on your personality, battle style, temperament. And you'll be placed in a house. The houses are the Deoxys attack house, Deoxys defense house,
Yeah.
the Deoxys normal house. Dude, you weren't even supposed to be in that house. Sure, but in the Deoxys speed house. And each house functions as their own domain. It has its own chat. You have your own group of people. Very welcoming community. So if you want to, learn to get better at Pokemon in a fun, interactive, safe place, then that's definitely something I'd suggest. And we have something called the House Tour, where you win the House Cup, and each house competes against each other each week, all at the goal of being the winning house. Either the speed house is going to dominate this season, the defense house, the normal house, or the Zoe's in the defense house.
I'm in the defense house, but I'm not playing or doing it. I'm just in there. I don't know how I even got in there. I basically just said, if I got $1,000, would I flip it? And I said, yeah, I'm gonna try and make it 10K. And then I got the defense house. Like, okay, what? Okay.
That wasn't even a defense house answer, but yeah, whatever. He took a very early version of the quiz. It's been adapted several times. Now the final version is out. It does the job pretty well. So if that's something you're interested in, that sounds intriguing, definitely come over to the channel, subscribe, and then hop into the Discord group, which will be the link in the description, and join the community, man. Join the academy. Great things going on, great things. And I have Joey to thank for definitely helping everybody get notified of just my channel being blown away.
Stupid. It's crazy. Like, I mean, I don't know if it happened to me. Well, I mean, it's different for me in my sense.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different.
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened to me, as I mentioned. Out of anybody, out of the group, definitely. I'm very mentally resilient. So, and I didn't have any stake. I didn't really make money off YouTube. So, me losing my channel was more of damn, that sucks. But I didn't really lose anything major.
Yeah, whereas me is like, oh, well, damn, there goes my livelihood.
Yeah, this is, I would literally fly to wherever the hell they were in, I'm not even gonna say. PG channel, but
It's not a PG channel at all. Get out of here.
It'd be pretty rough what I do to that guy. Yeah, that's not cool. But yeah, we're good now. We're good. We're back stronger than ever. I think it was a blessing in disguise because I'm actually having more fun.
Yeah, in terms of motivation and stuff, you can definitely see it. But yeah, guys, as Jem had mentioned, I mean, I know this video is going longer than you expected. But hopefully you learn about Eternatus. There's a lot of stuff on Jam's channel and my channel coming up. And I say this all the time, but he is my favorite channel for competitive Pokemon, whether that be because I love watching him lose or get messed up by weird sets, or because I actually just like the sheer skill and I enjoy that sort of thing. And it's the type of thing where I can listen when, I'm on a treadmill or running outside or, whatever I'm doing, right? I'm at the store and I can just put in my headphones in and I can say, okay, well, this is what's happening in the battle. This is what's going there. This is great. But yeah, check out Mr. Jambat's channel. You won't regret it. And I think that's all I got to say. So, yeah, subscribe. Check out all the other movesets. There's a link down below. 100%, guys. Check out Jam's channel. If anything we said sounds interesting to you, check it out. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
All right, y'all. Peace.